China's race for Mars domination. The obsession with Mars started after it was confirmed to be the star in the night sky. In the 1800s, there were telescope explorations that wrongly discovered some artificial construction on Mars. This wrong discovery led to more studies and further missions to find out what Mars has in store. The exploration of Mars began in the 1960s, and NASA is confident that it can finally land its first humans on Mars by the 2030s, with many space exploration missions hoping to push these timelines forward. The space mission industry has always been a political one, where nations strive for supremacy. Anyone who can mark significant feats is celebrated as a knowledge lead and given political respect as an authority on the subject. We know that these nations will have already established their territories if a planet is occupied and thus captured spots. You want me to go deeper? Be sure to hit the subscribe button if this is your first time here. Mars landing has been an easy trip for Americans, as they have been the only ones to land a rover on Mars until May 2021 successfully. Out of about 49 attempts to land on Mars by December 2020, only 20 had been successful. The planet might be close to Earth, but its toxic conditions always crush spaceships or cloud them after 20 seconds of landing. In 2020, 3 rovers were scheduled to arrive on Mars: NASA's Mars 2020, ExoMars 2020, run by the Russian and European Space Agency, and China National Space Administration, CNSA. NASA eventually landed in February 2021, being the only one to land after the Europeans failed twice successfully. The China National Space Administration finally achieved a remarkable feat when it announced through Chinese state media that China's Tianwen-1 spacecraft, Zhurong, has finally gone through its 7-minute landing procedure and has landed. This landing comes after its initial setting off on July 23, 2020, and its 7-month journey from Earth to Mars. Since February, it has been in Mars orbit and has collected massive information and photographs with its 2 cameras on board. Still, now it has finally touched down at Utopia Planitia, the northern hemisphere of the planet. The Zhurong is a science laboratory on wheels. It is helping us tell if Mars are suitable for human life. Zhurong means God of Fire. A day on Mars takes 24 hours and 39 minutes, 90 days. Tianwen-1, which is named the space mission, is named after the poem Tianwen, which means questions to God. The Tianwen-1's Zhurong arriving on Mars has shot up China's successive advances in a space mission. China is the first country to have landed a rover to explore the moon's far side in 2019. It also launched a robot to the moon and quickly returned it with a cache of moon rocks for evaluation. Russia has congratulated China on this incredible advancement, citing that it is suitable for their future collaborations. The 2 countries are set to build a lunar space station and base it on the moon's surface. Russia previously worked with NASA on many landings of this nature until the world started paying attention to China and collaborating more with them since 2019. There is growing cooperation between Europe and China after Congress banned NASA from cooperating with China and any persons representing China directly. This position is because the United States said that it had grave concerns about the nature and goals of China's space program. The United States Commission that reviewed and submitted its findings stated that China considers space as a tool of geopolitical and diplomatic competition. Moreover, the space mission in China is still entirely funded by government and military-led, which makes the American Economic and Security Commission uncomfortable. The President of China, Xi Jinping, who has been very optimistic about the country's space exploration, has remarked, "You were brave enough for the challenge, pursued excellence, and placed our country in the advanced ranks of planetary exploration. China must achieve all of these because this is its second attempt at arriving on Mars. It failed in its first attempt in 2011. The direct Asian competitor of China, India, is already in space with them. The Indian Mars Orbiter mission's maiden attempt to land on Mars was successful and considered impressive for the first time in 2014. Zhurong's arrival is a way to assert China's dominance in space mission over its neighbor, India. The People's Republic of China has a budget increment of $2 billion every year. This financial revelation means that their $11 billion budget in 2018 would have shot up to about 60% more. The race for space domination is not officially set or regulated by anyone. Still, China seems to have taken it more seriously as they come in as latecomer and is progressing each year. For example, China became the second country to plant its flag on the moon, 50 years after the first United States flag was first planted on the moon. This flag is treated to prevent all forms of harsh conditions that could destroy it. The Global Times newspaper, which is a government-funded publication, stated that China planting its flag on the moon is a sign of inspiration and excitement that the country felt watching the Apollo mission of the US. This point of rivalry is all you need to know about the secret race for Mars domination. If China sends people to Mars first, do you think they will plant a flag, or will the excitement of being the first to stop them? In related news to Mars, South China Morning Post reports that a group of scientists say they have found life on Mars with photos showing fungi-like specimen. The group published a paper to announce their latest discovery. The article mentions black spider-like organisms that grow up to 300 meters in spring and disappear by winter. The fungi are described as a white amorphous specimen that changes shape and location and then disappears within 3 days. The authors maintained that growth, movement, and changes in form and location constitute behavior and support the hypothesis that there is life on Mars. These 11 scientists from various countries and institutions say that their discovery comes from NASA photographs from 2 decades ago. David Flannery, lecturer of Earth and Planetary Sciences at the Queensland University of Technology and a NASA Mars 2020 mission science team member, was asked about it. He responded with, "The team is looking for life on Mars right now, but it is looking in the rock records." He explained that this is because the surface of Mars is bathed in deadly radiation and toxic liquid all the time, so space missions are unlikely to find living things there. He is hoping that this new information from China doesn't discredit work ongoing by space missions, which are still on the position that there is zero evidence of living organisms. He said that the scientific community would reject this paper. NASA has also explained that they see blueberries, dark rocks buried in the ground, so the change in shape could be attributed to the wind blowing some of the soil away. This doubt is something that CNSA will be looking for that the Zhurong finds clarity to. Will you be moving to Mars if you get the chance? Let us know in the comments section. That's the end of our video for today. See you next time. Bye!